Happy Onewheel Wednesday, everybody. My name is Scot Mendenhall. We're excited to be with you today. It's been a season, been a little bit, a couple weeks since we've been here, but I hope you've been enjoying the little drops of video content, riding the brand new Onewheel XL, Rally XL. I don't know what you're calling it. It's got so many names, but it's a superb ride. Just coming off a great weekend in Wisconsin at WinMan. Wow, that race was spectacular. The vibes were all right, except for the weather. We'll get into that a little bit, but it was such a great opportunity to hang out with people in the community. So if you were here or there at Winnman Race, put a comment down in the live chat today. We'd love to hear from you. So cool to see so many familiar faces and brand new. One of the cool highlights from this past race was there were more people there this year than last year, which I applaud that. While I applaud that, let me introduce my wife, who's got the chillest hat on right now.
Today.
We are a little bit. How are you doing, baby?
Hey, everybody. Doing good. How are you?
Wonderful. I don't think we've gone live since we're able to split like this, so it's kind of nice to have this.
You're welcome.
Where we can both look at each other.
I didn't have anything to do with it, you're
so
all
good.
welcome.
It's spectacular. It has the right vibes. We have our brand new 3-week-old interns helping us here.
I was
running tech. So they're cranking. We got Chloe, which some of you might have met her at the Winnman Race. She was running one of the trails that you were racing on. And then we have Faith on the other side of the studio. She also is at the Winnman Race doing.
They were
a great
both
job.
At the check-in table.
Yeah. So it's good.
Chloe's super bubbly and smiley, and Faith's hope you have a good day. That's kind of who they are.
Yeah, they're chill. They should be wearing shirts like this as well because they got
chill.
all kinds of the right vibes. So I hope everybody's doing great. Fall is now official. Weather doesn't know that yet, but it's official. Calendar says so, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
Again, Holly, if you're brand new around here and you're clicking it because can Future Motion Onewheel beat a Vesc Onewheel? Also, are Onewheel events family friendly? We were asked by a bunch of people at WinMan. Is this how all events are? Is it really family friendly? So we're going to dive into that, especially being a family of 8, where we have been to many of the different events. And so maybe the community can learn some things from us to hopefully grow a sport, because I think that's the idea behind this. I hope every racer, every vendor, every race coordinator is wanting to grow the sport, not just. Again, we want the sport to outlast us, right? The grandfathers and the grandmothers of the sport to hand it off. And so, do families feel like they can come? Because if you don't have families coming to the event, the sport will die. It will not progress. What we should be seeing at every event, you want to grade if your event is really growing, look at the Grom category. Is that growing? And if it's not, you need to take a hard, long look at why and what's the hang up there.
Because environment? Is it because
if you get the Groms there, you'll get the parents there, you get both there, you'll have more racers. And I get it. It serves backwards because I think you go pros. I think pros will naturally come to these events because they want to push it and get a good prize purse. But it's got to be coming from behind, where I've already started in the top. You just got to come from behind and get those Groms in there. Big category where they feel safe to race, where they can progress through. It's understandable how they progress through the sport to become a pro. Because if there's no achievement, at least in our family, if there's nothing to strive for and achieve for, they won't do it for very long. So, side note, that gets us started. Let's get to the other topic, which was Onewheel, future motion based, Vesc Onewheel based. And this comes out of Holly. I was sitting up there. It started raining after 3 stages. Here's my story of the week. And I did show up to kind of race a little bit better than I did last year. And I gave it 3 races. I was giving it.
3 of the stages.
3 of the stages, 3 of the 6. And for me, my abilities, I was contending. I was in the top 5 of 3. But the way the day went, I followed the Groms, and then I got smacked with rain, and I just shut it down. I was slipping all over the place. It wasn't ideal any longer. I mean, it was a soupy mess. It was not. But people have to race that. One of my segments took 10 minutes to get through because I was just like, I don't want to break arm, wrist, all those things. And so I shut her down and unfortunately didn't do so well. I might have finished dead last because of that. And same with our Groms. They were out there in the rain and didn't, it just wasn't the race they had, but you're just trying to teach them as well. hey, this is the way it went for you. You can't ask for a redo. Everybody has to put up with Mother Nature, and sometimes Lady Luck's on your side, and sometimes she's not. And so we got bit all the way around with a little bit of rain. It was actually a lot of rain by the afternoon for our squad. But that's the way it goes. It's racing, everybody. It's racing. There's no redos. There's no.
Now, do you think there was, with how the race was set up, was there time for you to do it earlier, or because of the way it's set up, like that's just what you were dealt?
That's just what you're dealt with, which is okay. Obviously.
In some ways, on an enduro style, there's waiting around.
Yeah, because again, for brand new people, enduros is you have to ride stages 1 through whatever in order. You can't jump. Well, 6 is open. I'll go run that. Run it in order. Typically, the pros go, then the experts go. Men and women of each category. Then you go to amateurs, and then you go to the Groms. Well, the Groms get last, which is okay. I don't think they should go first. There's no advocating for that. It is just the way it goes at every race, and it's fine. Like, I don't want to think somebody go, oh, you squat. No, I'm just saying that is okay. It's just sometimes you get it, and sometimes you don't. You know, the pros could have had rain, and the Groms could not have. It's just, there's no... I think the way that is laid out is the way it should be.
Garrett's saying that he's going to take the blame.
Oh, Garrett. Garrett passed me. No, there's one point where Garrett,
on that muddy
Garrett
one.
and I were having fun. He travels with the Groms, and we just laughed pretty much the whole time, and it's great. And he's like, it's going to be slippery. And I was like, it's okay. And I get out there. And if there is one drawback to the Rally XR, here it is. That tire is very rounded, and not much of a tread to bite sloppy, soupy, slippery trails. When I would get on the edge of the tire, it just slipped out either backside or toe side. And that's a scary feeling on your one wheel because you have really no recovery to that. And that happened to me one time, and I came off the board, and I threw my arm back, caught a tree to keep me from going down, and I was like, that's it. And then Garrett passed me, and he thought it was the best ever.
I bet he did. I
heard him saying, I'm coming for you, Scott.
I do remember at one point, all of the kids, it was raining pretty hard, and then it kind of lightened up a little bit, and all of the kids are like, Garrett,
let's go.
Where are you?
But that wasn't going to change the conditions.
No,
it was already,
they would have already been. But I actually...
It was slicker than snot on a doorknob, everybody. Have you ever heard that? That's what it was. It was slick.
Gross.
Every time you got on a berm that's coming up and you want to... It's just... I slid down.
I thought today's title was going to be a new rider on the XL.
Why?
Because I rode it for the first time, guys.
Yeah.
I thought that a noob on a rider on an XL or something.
You thought that's what we were going to say?
Yeah,
okay, tell us your thoughts on the riding of the XL.
Well, I went through the trails on my S. I went through the trails, guys. I didn't race, but I did go through the trails.
I'm there for it.
I went through the first stage.
You really did.
And I made it through. It was actually super fun. There was a couple parts that were a little tougher, but that was good for me. But then Scott and I went out on a ride, and he didn't really necessarily know where we were going, so we kept going. And we were
on an adventure, babe.
It was a great adventure. My S goes in yellow. And I was like, babe.
Noob status. How are you not going to check your battery percentage?
We did check it. You asked me to. But then we took a different turn. And then we went way farther than what the stage was. So in the middle of the trail.
Let's hear it.
It's like, you got to switch boards. He needed to take my S so that I could be on the XL and not nosedive, with needing more power. You don't do that. You don't just switch boards in the middle of the trail. Because you're used to your ride. Like, I have a hard time switching.
There was no way we're getting out of there in
I
yellow.
Wouldn't have gotten out of there on the yellow.
So
That's
I went to that.
That's right.
I risked my life for my bride.
And I thought the XL was awesome. Like, I could immediately tell a difference. And it was like the way you feel on it, the stability, but yet I was going fast for myself. I was going fast.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, a slug did pass this, everyone.
I have always been one that can't necessarily tell the difference between boards or this or that, whatever. And I could tell a difference, and it was a major upgrade. It was awesome.
It is. It was a lot of fun.
I'm saving for one.
Okay, but now here's the next. Let's get to the Vesc question versus Future Motion. And we've got to give a quick explanation of this. And this is how this came about. We're in a really nice, pristine mountain bike trails. And there were some guys that had come up from Madison, Wisconsin to ride the trails, not knowing there was a one-wheel race. So they came and just watched it. And I was getting out of the rain, and we were just talking like, what are these? And are these all one wheels? I was like, okay, I got nowhere else to go. You are right if I nerd out on you for a second. So we did. I was like, okay, these are all one wheels, but have different operating systems. The divide line is Future Motion makes a one wheel with Future Motion software. That's a one wheel. The other one is one wheel style, like the shape and a one wheel, ran on a Vesc operating system, which now allows you to put different components in there, different batteries, BMSs, controllers, tires, rims, hubs, rails, the whole thing. So those are more customizable, a little bit more Wild Wild West in settings and all of those things. The question is, can one wheel beat that? Because that's the question in our house, because some of our kids were going, oh, yeah, I raced against Vescs, and it was like, I'm not going to win. It was one of our grounds. I'm just not going to win. Vesc will always win, which I was like, get out of here. It is, yes, the board is got a lot. I'm going to give 49%
To the board?
to the board and 51% to the rider. Because I watched some of the pro riders, like a Austin or Mercedes, riding Future Motion boards, and they're contending. They're not, right? So it comes down a lot to the board, but it comes a lot more down to the rider.
Okay.
So can one wheel Future Motion boards beat Vesc? Yeah, we see it all the time. Is it complicated? Sure, because no one knows what the settings are. I wish the Winnman Race would have divided that, because I still think that conversation will for always go. What is this person riding? I don't think it's apples to apples.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't necessarily think that and I was even talking, one of my favorite things about Winnman is there's always so many new people to that race.
Yeah.
And so when you're kind of trying to explain what this racing league is, it isn't apples to apples when you're talking about it. And like, so many people are showing these footholds or, whatever it may be, all the way down to how the system works. It still isn't apples to apples. And so it's like, it's nice to be able to see the difference of that.
Right. It's just nice to know, especially when you go to dual slalom, which, this is going to be a pretty bold statement. But if your race doesn't offer a pretty substantial opportunity to watch head to head, I just think you're going to get left behind in the race. Because, man, to see the crowds that line up over the bridge and down, it just has the right vibes, I think, for the sport to continue to grow. Now, I get every race course doesn't have an ability to have a dual slalom or line up 5 or 6 on the track, but I just think we got to start looking for that.
Looking for those opportunities.
Yeah,
to
for
hold those style of races.
Yeah, to help this sport
and
grow. Because there were more racers this year at Winnman, but there were way more spectators. And I do think it's because this is an easy one to spectate at, because you can go up the fire road and just peer in and see a lot of the segments, just pieces of it. And then the dual slalom, which is on Sunday, you can line up over the bridge, which was packed this year. Like, we have a shot. I think Carve Creative was out there filming. They do a lot of content. Do we have one of the dual slaloms on there? Can we switch to Faith? Yeah, there you go. Put that up there. I think that's 7. Hit 7 for Faith. There you go. Okay. And then Chloe, let's see. Here we go. This is Carve Creative. This is Epic and Shane. And they're going head to head. Great way to film it. And again, people could walk in there and line this like you watch Red Bull events. It just is fun to watch this.
Wait, I think this one shows it where they get to the bridge and there's just people cheering and screaming and just so much fun.
These two go head to head twice. They get to try each side each time, and then they take their times and they figure out who's going to be riding. Great work on the drone footage here, Carve Creative, whichever individual is rocking and rolling. Very competitive race here. I think Epic comes off at some point, but here's the bridge. See it right up ahead? They're going to go right underneath it. See these people here? This is towards the finish line. You got people over there it's just...
That's so fun. Now it starts over.
Yeah, that's great. Let's click through a few more of those. So they just did really good. Just go through... what's this? Is this who wins it? Here's another one. Some of the Groms racing. This is our great friends and family from Fort Ripley, way up there in Brainerd area. Those
Rippers.
Yeah,
they were fun. The Groms are the funnest to watch on the dual slalom.
Yeah, well, they don't take so long to get up when they fall.
Yeah.
They just bounce up. There's some more Groms going, which is cool to see.
Inspire.
He's sitting there. Look at all of them cheering.
That's
He's
so
all
fun.
suited up, full faces, and it's just fun to watch them. Because again, guys, that is the sport. Look at this drone footage of
Amazing.
the day. Such a great day right by the water. I never saw that. I mean, I drove by it, but never rode.
Here.
What's that? How?
I don't know how to get back out of here. I'm just clicking my.
See that arrow over there?
This?
Yeah, click that.
I did. It just goes back to the next
Okay,
video.
then click right there on the gray. Did you click?
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
And so you can see. Let's see.
You want another one?
Yeah, click the next one. There we go. It's all right. We'll watch this one. Click next. Yeah, look at this. There's a bunch of people waiting up there for the race. Again, so many spectators around. I just think we got to create a way for our people. This is
Icon
and Zane. Zane's overall winner for the ladies.
She was flying.
This is their second time going down, and it's just fun to watch the sport. They send somebody down on a bike to film from behind, which is great.
That's
great
awesome.
Footage.
Yeah, they did. They
I
had
applaud.
some great
I
footage.
just like to applaud really quick. Carve Creative. Thank you for
guys
giving us
rock.
footage.
You put a lot of effort into all the content that gets taken.
Just an epic deal. So, I mean, the Windmill Race, one of the few races this year as we come back in the studio, one of the first races this year that had more at it than last year. A lot of the races this year were posting lower numbers at attendance.
Yeah, this was one that was up.
Yeah, with spectators and racers.
Yep. That's awesome. That's well done.
Here is my opinion.
Okay.
Out of all the events we go to, and we go to a lot, this one is the most family friendly.
100% agree.
Is there more room for it to be even more family friendly? 100%. But this is the most family friendly event where parents, grandparents can come watch, and they are not going to, no offense to anyone, smell like weed. They're not going to have earmuffs over their ears because so many foul words are being used and a lot of drinking isn't happening. Now, after the award ceremony, it does tend to shift, but because of WinMan's view with weed, you have to go towards the street to do that, so that's not all around the families, and so it becomes family friendly. Some of the other events, you have the smell of weed everywhere. You see people doing that all over the place. Families typically aren't wanting to bring their groms into those events because they're trying to parent that in a different direction. Mm-hmm. And so it becomes less and less family friendly. Now, here, not preaching and not getting on it because our family is there. So we're teaching and we love this sport. So we're not trying to clean it up. We're just saying what we have heard from other families. One of the families at WinMan asked, are all races like this where at the award ceremony it shifts? Because if it is, I don't want to attend. Secondly, I won't be around for the award ceremonies. Can't grow a sport if people are going to not want to be around because of different things. If we want to see the sport grow, we need to have a little bit of house cleaning, I think, in all the events. And it's not the race coordinators. It's the racers. If you genuinely want to see this thing really take off and crank, we need to hear greater stories of how well people are riding on their boards. And did you see what Luke Austin did, or Austin Silver, or Mercedes, or Sarah Meeker? Did you hear how they rode out of their minds? Not all the drama that tends to come out of the events of this person was high or really passed out or right, all that drama. If that's the stuff being told from the events, families will not show up to those events. Holly, am I being harsh?
No, I don't think you're being harsh. I think it's just maybe the reality of I personally got asked from four different families of how what are the other places like? What is it, And it is you want to be at everything, but the only way to grow sport is to get the younger.
It's one of the easiest, not the only.
Well, right. But to start from with the younger and grow with them for something for them to aspire to, So
right.
yeah, I don't think you're being harsh. I just think that's Now, we've also said many times that it is, as parents, I full well know that we're responsible
Right.
for our kids or where they're at or what they're doing or this and that. So I don't take that lightly, and it's not for the race director to figure everything out so that my kids don't come in contact with anything. I don't think that's the
Nope.
It's we are parents, and we're just saying the overarching environment. This WinMan is one of the more easy ones to say 100% family friendly.
It's family friendly because also the size of it. Mm-hmm. Meaning you can be at that hub area and see everything and almost see every trail. And you can go up to the top this year and you had 3, 4, and 5 all in one little area. So you could hunker down there a little bit and watch the starter races. So it becomes easier to manage as a family. Again, it's some of those things to take into consideration. If you could market to very family friendly, all of a sudden it becomes more inviting for the families, which you need. You got to get the family. Again, there are a lot, like I ran into a dad that was racing and I was like, oh, your kids, they ride? Oh yeah, they do. Why aren't they here? Oof, I don't want them in this environment. It's like, okay, I understand that. And that's a bummer because then the sport's missing out on potentially one of the greatest riders we've ever seen yet. And so it's something for all of us to consider to help just continue to clean it up. I'm not telling you not to do this stuff. Like, please, I'm not your dad. I'm just saying, do we want to see the sport grow and we want it to be family friendly? Sure. I got to make sure you hear from me. This is not me. I'm a host of a podcast, not sharing an opinion. I'm sharing collectively what we're hearing. We have been to a lot of the events and are going to continue to go to the events regardless, right? It is our job to parent our children and to watch them and be around. We know that, and I'm pointing to Holly over here, right? We understand that and know that, but I want this sport to grow. I want the sport to feel safe for families, for Groms, for the 18 and under, right? So how do we create that? And that's where we, as adults, start going, oh, we could clean this up. We're going to grow this thing. It's going to be more competitive. And it's going to be really, really exciting. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the chat. Like, if you got an opposing thought, please share it. Mm-hmm. If you got an opinion, please share it. If you think we're just crazy people, share that, right? Like, we're not looking to hurt anybody's feelings. We're just saying, hey, we want to see the sport grow.
Now, I will ask this a little bit, like, since we're talking about the host of the race, WinMan Trails is the host of this WinMan Dirt Surfers race. Is it because of some of the things that they have?
They do have signs.
Like, they have implemented some of this. This is someone's dream of how this trail system is.
Yes.
So I think that does lend itself to what we're talking about of being able to have it more family friendly. But do you think that's very easy to implement elsewhere?
No, that's every event, right? That's so hard to do. No one's regulating it either. Really, what you see is it's just downright respectful. It's very kind of those that wanted to do those things, and you saw them over at the street, and no judgment at that. It's like, cool, thank you. Mm-hmm. Like, thank you for doing that, so that the young Groms that are running around don't have that being blown into their face and things of that nature. It's like, oh, that's great. That's super kind. I think it just shows the quality of those humans, those mm-hmm. people that were doing it. It's like, great. Wonderful. Like, that happened. And then you come over and it's great that you don't have that where parents are going, oh my goodness. And so, it's something for us to ponder and figure out if we're really looking for this sport to grow. The more families we get to this thing, the more it's going to grow because you're going to get more spectators because then grandma wants to come.
Which I did get to help a 90-year-old grandpa come and watch the Groms race. I got to
on
help
Sunday
him.
Or the whole thing?
On Sunday, I got to help. Well, he was there for the whole thing. He was there, but we got to help him get to where he could see the dual slalom at the end of it. And he was just so excited to be there. It was so great. But I have another thought on or
I'll have an opinion, I'm sure of it.
But did I just blank on it?
Oh, she forgot.
Oh. One thing that was also brought to me in some different conversations, you as well, was the fact that some of the racing rules of consideration, like the one wheel is unique. Like when you're doing these races, if you come up on somebody that has fallen and is injured, you got to redo your race.
Right.
I had multiple comments of Like, what? This is a competitive sport, and they let you redo. Like, that's your competition. Who cares if they've fallen or gotten hurt? And we had that happen a couple times. A couple people got hurt, were down for a little bit, and, had to go and redo other ones, whatever. But it was just, that was even very much complimented on of the consideration when you're out in the trails looking out for one another, which is what it makes the one-wheel community and these races so fun.
This is why we wear shirts like this, because it is trying to be chill, right? And that chill vibe is like, cool, I'm going to make sure you're safe. I'm going to redo it after that. I think that's just a great quality of just a human being, is like, I want to be competitive. I want to do my best, but not at the expense of you. So I'm going to stop, check you out, go tell people, hey, I helped get them out. Great, redo it. It's a simple few button clicks, and all of a sudden it's like, great, go in there and redo it. I applaud that in this culture, love that. I think a lot of sports in enduro races could bring that in, because it's like, no, be great at both being a great human and a competitor.
Yeah.
And so, again, a lot of the mountain bike riders out there going, oh, that is crazy talk. That's wild. I can't believe you do that.
Okay,
and so
we have a couple of things.
Okay, let's hear. Let's read. My glasses do not allow me to read it.
Okay,
Polarized
well,
lenses.
it's gonna go back to like our topic for today.
We got two going. Split.
Yeah, we do. Speed Skills Hawaii says ORL needs to have its own category, or needs to keep its own category, and there's no pro category without a pro league. He's referring to when you're thinking of motocross or anything like, in motocross races, do 50 cc's, are they racing 80 cc bikes?
Right.
So he's saying this between Vesc and, One Wheel Future Motion. Is it hard for anybody that declares himself as like a full Future Motion rider to want to go to these races if they're going to be racing Vesc? So he's just commenting that, yes, at times that's hard to go to when you're going to already be at a disadvantage just for your what's the word? Your ride that you have, your one wheel.
I mean, a house of Future Motion riders, right? One wheels. We love it, but it is a conversation oftentimes. And again, I don't run a race, and it's easy to squawk on a microphone that they should split the categories. It would bring the categories down small. That's some of the issues. Those categories. Then all of a sudden, you only have 5 people in each category or so, because you got 5 Vescs and 5 Future Motion boards, and that makes 10 people in a let's say an expert category. But now you have 5 versus 5. I do think it would be great to be able to track that stuff.
Well, do you think the way they did it this year?
No,
having the separation, that wasn't quite good enough.
Where are Winnman?
No. Winnman was different because there wasn't like that. You take Dirt Surfers Arkansas, you take Lemonade, you take whatever.
I think
where they did ORL points, and then the overarching winner was just whoever won.
I think our sport is going to be. Somebody should probably splice this out and use it against me. Nah, but I do think our sport needs a lot of help in cleaning it up in rules and regulations, because it's chaotic. Every race coordinator that wants to can do whatever they want, and it makes it really hard. So, what am I contending for? If it's a one-off race, fine. If, ORL points involved into it, and now all of a sudden this event isn't going to keep track of those points, and this one is, and then what happens is it's them, it's not me, it's them, but not me. Both sides say that, and nothing. And it's just like it becomes. You become disfranchised in it, of like,
Okay.
because you're trying to work for something, but you can't, or you want to know how you stack up against Vescs and who's riding Vescs and all these things, and you don't have the information. I think those information pieces continue to allow topics going, and you understand, oh, look, in my category, these were Vescs, and I placed higher than them. Oh, but that's on a one wheel, so I know it's just the tracking of information helps the sport more fun. And again, to that person's statement, go to other races and you just don't have a small bike versus a big bike. Their classes bigger. I get it. But if you're going to keep them all together, at least still split it, so you know why you got 10th in there. That, okay, maybe it's time for me to upgrade my board. Now, I think the beauty of a Vesc board, one glaring beauty of a Vesc board, is you can upgrade the firmware and unleash things instantly. Like, go home and put a bigger battery in there and adjust things, and woo, you got it. Future motion, you got to wait for the latest board to be out or a firmware update, but most likely it's a new board. You'd have to spend $4,000 to get an XL Rally or Rally XL, whatever it is, right? I got to spend money to do that. And it just becomes, well, racers can help grow the sport in their sport by giving more information to the racers. And don't, like, I think race coordinators stop pointing to future motion is the problem in this. Give information to your racers and people will love your race. If I know I'm showing up in my category, I'm speaking made up because I don't really care. Like, we'll take my kids. They knew there were 2 Grom categories, Vesc and future motion. I think they go, okay, that feels really natural and easy. Whereas, now I'm going to come in, it's all mixed around. Again, how many were in our Grom category? Here's the issue. The sport's so small, you can't do this.
Well, that's right. You can't. I mean, our kids were probably the only ones on future motion boards.
But
I don't know that for sure.
Right, but when you come in, but I'm just saying can we go look at what the categories were at WinMan? Because that's how you got to look at it. How many people total were in Groms?
Gotcha.
You helped in check-in. Do you not know these things? Come on.
I mean, we probably had.
Come on, faster.
Probably 15, 18.
18.
Maybe 8 girls, 10 boys.
Okay, so then you divide that 8 boys, 10 girls, you said? The other way.
Other way.
Yeah, so let's say they're half and half. So now you have a boy-girl competition.
Well, that's how the dual slalom was.
But then you go Vescs, now you have 8. You know, it just gets real little.
Yeah,
it gets too little of a sport. But that's where I go back. All of this conversation today is to grow the sport. It's a vicious cycle. If you want the sport to grow, make it family friendly. If you want the sport to grow, you need to clean up the sport. If you want to clean up the sport and get more families, you need to look at you want the sport to grow so your brackets get more clearer and more fun, because that'll help the sport grow. I'm coming in competing with people on boards the same as mine. Because it doesn't matter how much you believe it's down to the racer. The person racing will always use the board as an excuse. It's human nature. So remove it, but we can't because the sport's too small. So you got to come back to, we got to make it family friendly to make the sport grow in order to get bigger categories, to get Groms in there and amateurs and all these things.
Yeah.
That's where I see it. Now, I don't run a race, so it's easy to just spew this information. It's just easy to say because
you're not really spewing. You're taking from the outside perspective. You're intelligent in what you're saying because you've been around long enough and you've looked at it lots of different ways. So you're not just spewing.
Yeah, and I also, while we're not on it, but I'm just gonna say, if you have pro lines, I just think pro lines stay no matter who complains. Then if you don't like it, go down.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation with Nick Payne, and I was like, I could never be a race coordinator because I'd just be too hard. I would not change anything. I'd be like, hey, it's the weather, it's muddy, deal with it. Everybody's going to have to do with it if we're starting at this time. It would have to be
something so major.
Like a tree fell and okay, we got to sort that out. I just wouldn't change. On race day before, status quo, you can chirp all you want. No one will show up to my races because of that, because I won't cater. But I raced at a pro level in Ironman, finished in the top 10% in the nation in Ironman circuit. That's a pretty big deal, everybody. And I never showed up to an Ironman where they go on race day, water's too cold, everybody, so we're going to shorten the water portion. No, they put it on me to look at the water temperature at 35 degrees, put on a thicker wetsuit, put things in your ears so you don't get a brain freeze while you're swimming, warm up. They put it on me to manage everything. Oh, guys, we're going to shorten the bike ride now because it's windy. No, I had to learn how to ride in windy conditions. That meant my time might be different than it was a year before, but because Mother Nature plays part in the races outdoors, if you don't like Mother Nature playing with the race, make an indoor race then.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. But I just wouldn't everyone else is way kinder than me. Like I got a lot of patience, but I just in that stuff. You're a pro. Jump it. Leap
but
over
I mean,
moving it. If it's too big for you, okay, you now know that. All right, the sport's progressing. I've not progressed. Because at the end of the day, if you want this sport to progress, we've got to keep upping the ante. Go to Austin Silver's page. Did you see what you talk about upping the ante?
Oh, what they were.
Did you see this? If you guys don't,
I think I saw the. Was it from earlier?
It was just today, or I don't know when it was, but I just saw it. Go to his story. Click on his little icon right there. Okay. Now thumb over, because that's a cool berm. Oh, we might be missing it. Oh,
this is from 23 hours ago.
Yeah, but the stuff before this, I think, was just epic. Keep clicking. Okay, click. Oh, man, his fall and everything was so epic.
There's Luke Austin there.
Yeah, there's a whole group just riding around in the northern countries of Michigan, maybe. Or still in Wisconsin, not sure. Click over. These are great, but this isn't what I'm talking about. Ah, such a bummer. Go see if he posted it into his feed.
Okay. This looks like it.
Oh, yeah, click that one over.
Oh.
Nope.
Got you. Hang on.
We're trying to, that bridge thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I think he'll show it. They're trying to go down this. This thing is way crazy. I'm hoping. Because this is what I'm talking about. Progression of the sport. And they rode that wall. I saw it all.
Oh, yeah.
And the way he comes off of it, again, to progress the sport is phenomenal. Now, this is starting to make my brain hurt because it's flipped sideways. He's trying to show you the jump because it's a gap.
Pretty.
And everybody wonders, can you ride this stuff on a one wheel? I hope they show it. And there's no way to fast forward this. So we're narrating over. Is this on Luke Austin's or...
this one is on...
Austin Silva's.
He reposted Luke's.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Is.
Look at this jump. Okay, that was sweet. Good play.
So
Again, you're coming. They're flying off the thing you just saw.
Yeah.
Okay, they're restarting
it. That's crazy.
It's not everything. It's not what I saw today. Go to Luke Austin's story.
Okay. Let me get there.
Okay, click that. See if it's up. Okay, click through this. This is what you were just on.
Yeah, this is Luke Austin though. This is not.
I want Austin Silva.
Yeah, you just told me Luke Austin.
Okay, well, I want Austin Silva. We've already seen this. Stop clicking.
I already went through all.
Okay,
of Luke,
you can come
Austin
off this.
Silva's.
Yes, you went through Austin Silva's.
I went through Austin Silva's.
And it was the
Luke
same
Austin.
thing?
It was the same thing. Yes.
Ah.
So that's right.
Can't find it. It's so fail.
Okay,
It was so
give
good
me a
though.
second to see
It was so good. Austin Silva flies off his board on the jump, but it's just progression. I want to see the sport progress. I want it to be spectator friendly and family friendly, because that's going to help the sport go and grow. But I don't think it's Future Motion has to step in there. I don't think we need rules from our race directors. I think it's us as in the sports going, okay, yeah, we want it to be family friendly. I'm gonna be extreme in my illustration. You ready for this one, Hal?
I'm ready.
Okay, this would be the equivalent, I think. The interns, listen to me when I say this, and you think okay, here's where I'm headed in this, and this is just true. Okay, we got people that like to enjoy extracurricular activities in smoking lots of different things. I don't like those. I love to run. I like to run far, fast. I want my lungs pink and pretty, and so I choose not to do that, okay? It's choice. On the other hand, now we're going to switch to what I do for a living. I'm a pastor of a church, and I love to talk about Jesus principles, following Jesus. I like pointing people to Jesus. It would be the equivalent of me going into these environments and standing on picnic benches and yelling in preaching at people on my opinion on things. I don't, because I respect everybody and understand that they don't share the same opinion as me, and they don't want to hear that. Just like people showing up to these events don't want to leave smelling like weed. They don't want to have to shield their eyes of their children from different things or cover their ears. It's just something to think about, because I'm doing the thing I'm asking you and us as spectators to potentially do. I'm doing the same thing because I understand not everybody's into Jesus. I don't know. Does that make my point?
You did.
Faith, Chloe, did I make my point? Does that kind of rattle it off a little bit? So that's what it is. It's just going now. It's just creating an environment that's family friendly, that'll help the sport grow and go, and it'll be awesome. But is that what we really want as a community?
Well, I think the better question is the effort that it takes to do that. Is that what we're willing to do to make it the sport that it can be?
Yeah, I think that's a one way. If you want to say thank you to the race coordinators, help them grow for all the time and effort like a Nick Payne puts into
They
this,
put a ton of
or
time.
Zach put in, and Brooks put in, and Carve Creative put into their races, right? And I'm sure there's more in WinMan. I don't know everybody, but the best way to honor those people is to keep their event family friendly, where people can show up and enjoy it. And this is not me. Like, we're already there. We're going to be there. So this isn't I'm just trying to. I want this sport to grow. I want people.
You're
to
just thinking of the bit. You're not even thinking of the individual events. You're thinking of the bigger picture of the sport as a whole. If it's gonna go somewhere, ESPN is never gonna post something that is in question or has all of this stuff going on. It's just not gonna happen.
It doesn't look too legitimate if after you do a run, you go get high. Because it's like, oh, wait, I can do this and I don't even have to be fit. Right? Like, you mean I can just get wasted and then run around on my board? Cool. All right, let's do it. Right? Like, there's times and places for that stuff. And I just don't think events is the place. I don't watch surfing competitions and then see I don't see any of the men and the women coming in from the surf and doing drugs. You just don't see that. And I watch that stuff all the time. I don't watch Red Bull Rampage, and we stream those things all the time. I love watching those. You don't watch those individuals coming down, and then all of a sudden, a camera flashes to them, and they're just smoking real quick, and then they're hopping on. You just don't see it. They might do that, but it's not involved in their sport. I don't know. No one's really saying much, so.
Some say fair. Some, it was a couple people. It was their first time there, and the trails were great. And
it was. I don't have any. Again, there's no issues of the event. We're coming off. It's just based out of the people asking questions about, is this family friendly, and all of the events family friendly, and it's like, I can't fully give you that everyone is fully family friendly. I mean, we've been told as well by, hey, this one you might not want to bring all of your kids to. This one you might bring just your older ones to. That tells you something. That actually, when you hear that, that's not helping your event grow, because that's what's being spoken about your event when people decide in the race season. Because people are asking everybody, hey, should I sign up for this event? And somebody goes, well, I wouldn't bring your littles to this event. Definitely not friendly for them. Or come, but by 5 o'clock, get out of there. That's not helping your event grow. I'm telling you, that's not helping. Just something for us to ponder. Yes, Holly.
Well, there's a little chatter.
Good.
Who is the one that's supposed to? This is, and we've talked about this before. Who's the one that's supposed to implement this stuff? Is it consideration of just the common people, the racers, the families that are there, the people that are attending? Is it race directors that are putting on the event?
Is this somebody asking this question?
Or is it ORL? Like, we have an ORL racing league. What does it mean? What does that even mean?
I think ORL could go, if you want to be a part of ORL, this is the standard.
But some
of your
people
event.
don't, and so it's like, okay, then maybe I'll choose whatever events ORL has a certain standard. Then you choose from those events.
Yeah, I mean, sure, I do think.
Or if you're going to be in the ORL circuit, here's the standards.
I don't think it's Onewheel has to do this. They can do that if they're going to make a standard of that. Which
you're
sure,
saying Onewheel. You're saying Future Motion, right?
Future Motion. Yeah, I think it would start. The easy one is, I think it would be established by the race director. I think that would be the easy one. So I do think that would be, but I think that's not fair to just go put it on race director because now, I mean, shoot, we've been to some races where they're adamant about helmets being rode all the time on your one wheel, and then you got these
Right.
police people running around helmet on megaphones. That creates a horrible environment, especially I'm just riding to my car. I'm not. I understand. So right, I'm not. I do not have the direct answer, but I think race directors can do that. I just think we can ponder that as a community. If we ponder that and think about that, I don't know.
They're hearing you. They're hearing you. There's some people that notice that Winnman is a unique one, and we will always say it's an excellent race if you've never been. You need to be at it because it encompasses a lot of these different things, great trails, but Winnman, you said it before, if you were just joining us, one of the requirements at the Winnman trails is that the smoking is off property. And so they noticed that people went across the street and went elsewhere.
Right.
So that's why, because Winnman Trail system, their organization requires that there's not smoking right there on the property. So, but that's not necessarily the case. You'd have to police it a little bit if that other.
And no one wants to do that.
Festivals are going to have a party vibe. Someone said in here, Quinn says, one wheel events are sort of parties.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Again, it does have that vibe. Oh, I'm going to take a weekend off and I'm going to party with my friends and ride one wheels. Then let's just call it what it is. Then it's just we're going to festivals and riding our one wheels. We are not right like I don't know this number, but to the ones that are festivals, let's call it you have 400 people that show up to your festival. How many of those actually race?
Yeah.
So if you only have 80 racers, let's call it, out of 400, it's like, okay, then we know what
the race is just secondary. Whereas we as a family, we know, our kids love to race. And so it's like the ones we choose to go to are race oriented. Not every event is like that because some is the festival.
I see Lily popping in and out of the chat. Good to see you, Lily. Miss you at your desk. Let's just give a shot at Lily's poor little desk. Look at it. It's empty. It's gotten we're just starting to put things. We just
collect.
Can we put Lily's desk up over there, Chloe?
Is her camera
It's going to be empty.
Yeah, it's on.
It's probably not even. Look at that. It looks sad. It's just we put
miss you, Lily.
Look at that. Sad. Reminiscent of the days where she had a puppy. Yeah, on the desk, and then she had her newborn.
And then she almost dropped her puppy.
Yeah, we just, man, Lily, good vibes. Okay, come back to you then.
Okay.
But she brought her brand new baby to Winnman, but knew she had to move around and be. Mm-hmm. She's like, I got to be gone by 5 o'clock or different times because she didn't want her newborn inhaling some of those things, right? Hello, that's what I'm saying. People are trying to bring newborns and babies to these events because they want it to be a family event. That cannot happen at all these other events. I've gone to plenty of X Games. Now, X Games probably started out similar to this, but X Games doesn't have that vibe anymore. You go there, it's serious. People are focused on trying to win the event. You're going into the crowd, and you might get hints of some things once in a blue moon, but you don't. It's risen the standard where you buy a ticket, you come in as a spectator. I'm going to watch this, and I can bring my whole family and baby in tow and not worry. That's it. That's all we're trying to look at it. Going, oh man, do we really want, or do we just want it to be a party? In about 5 years or less, there will be no more races because it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable to hold events that cannot grow and have spectators at. It just is not sustainable. When you look at it with a business mindset, it cannot grow. And it needs to grow because the cost of venues keeps going up. And racers that want to have chips on to time that cost money.
All of it costs.
So you've got to be able to grow the sport to have bigger prize purses to make it lucrative for us to want to be able to do this. If it doesn't grow, it'll be done in a couple years and there will be nothing for it other than, hey, I rode for a while. I raced I don't think that's what anybody wants that really calls this a sport they want to
You said
do.
you probably wouldn't direct a race, but what if I do?
You're not going to do that. I don't even.
Did you hear him, guys? Did you hear him?
No, you're not going to do that. I would love to do it because I think it'd be. I'd put a lot of the Scot Mendenhall and Friends shenanigans in there, and so
foxtail race, yes, please.
It would be a little
You
bit
could do
of
like a
those
foxtail
things.
race tournament. That'd be
Yeah, you would
amazing.
let the
Foxtail
groms
races
go.
are so fun to watch.
People can sign up for a foxtail, and
Although-
you just. I mean,
We did a foxtail race the other day, and I got the tail from Legend, guys. I'm a racer. Scott just shakes his head.
unbelievable. It's,
It's true. It is
anybody
true.
got a little pin? I need to pop her head real quick. It's getting too big, everybody. You might want to recalibrate
They love it. They
hat.
just need. It was a little bit heavy there for a minute, so they needed a little bit of comic relief. I got you guys.
Yeah. Woo!
That was all truth. It wasn't just funny. It was truth.
Hey, the other thing at WinMan, I did get to ride the pit bike,
Oh!
the wheel fun
Wheelie
bike.
Wheelie bike.
I did. I suck at making it pop up and wheelie. Okay, well, some of that is I hate riding other people's stuff in the fear that I'm going
That
to
was fun.
break it. Did you ride it?
No, it was fun to watch you. I saw you off in the parking lot.
Distance.
Yeah. I mean, that was
I
fun
went
for
across
you.
the
I
street
should
where
say.
all those were huffing and puffing.
No, that I would get myself hurt on.
It's so easy though. It's almost too easy. That's the thing.
Too
Hit
easy?
that button. It's like poof, it's up. It's startling, but oh my gosh, it lives up to all the hype of fun. And we'll talk more about this next week. But I rode it. Wow, it's awesome. I got to just go let it rip because I was really struggling on the wheelie side of things. Julian helped me get it up and I could ride and stuff, but nothing at speed. And it's their prototype, and I don't want to crash this thing. And so I really was going back and forth. Anyways,
Well,
but
they wanted
it
you
open
to
up
ride
and it was just
check it out,
gone.
so
I felt like I needed my motorcycle helmet on because you were just going
That's awesome.
super stable. And then as I'm on and I'm like, how do I implement this into my daily activities? Because wow, it was awesome. So we'll talk
bet.
more about that next week in our podcast next week. Is there a place for the pit bikes that are popping up? Or is it just a niche thing that's for one wheel events and things of that nature? So
we shall see.
again, I hope everybody hears. Like, I want this. I want it to go and grow. I want the showdowns between Vesc and Onewheels. I want it, but I want people to know who they're competing against and things of that nature. I think we entered into a new part. This is towards the end of the show today, so if you're hanging around, you get a little bonus drama stuff. We've entered into the category of people figuring out how to grab people's tunes on race day and then using their tunes that they're beating them with their own tune. That happened this week, and a little bit of controversy, but it's like,
and
yikes.
some people would say that's maybe the downfall of.
I think that's it. I don't
can
think
you do
I
that?
do. I'm trying to. Okay. What's the movie? Shoot, there was a movie. I can't remember where they were stealing tunes of cars.
Oh.
Oh no, who was in it and stuff? Shoot, I can't remember. But they
Like a race, like car race, like.
Yeah,
F1
car racing.
racing
Yeah, I
type?
can't remember. But
Okay.
anyways, I think that's cheating. If you don't directly ask the individual
Can
for
you
it,
do that on the Future Motion app? Like, can you go, or someone's got to give, like.
it's not as save and push around.
You just
Whereas
got the
Vesc,
information
you
and
can.
plugged it.
I could create a tune, Scot Mendenhall and Friends, and then just
And then.
somehow either. I don't know. Am I texting a link to it? Somehow it's a package
Okay.
you upload, and there it is.
And then you can put it on.
I think if you did not directly ask for it, I'd begin to venture into its an integrity.
Yeah, but is it
Question.
something that if you're coming for the biggest race of the year or any race that you're earning price
No,
per
if there's
set.
money on the line.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if you,
No.
like don't give it out. You know, that's, but I it's a little bit sketchy.
Yeah,
That's
but-
a little sketchy.
Yeah, all of it's an integrity thing. Like, it just reveals the heart of, like, hey, I'm going to be sneaky in this. If you got to be sneaky to get something that's probably not right. Everything that's got a shadow on it, a dark, a secretive side to it, isn't probably the right move to do. If you've got to keep it from other people, you know, you're venturing down the dark path. Whereas most things that are upright and noble, you share with everybody. It's in the light. So there's the rub. It's an easy one for you to ponder. Oh, if I got to keep this from my spouse, then you're probably doing something that I would say is shady. Or if you got to keep it from a one-wheeler, that I don't want them to know I have this, venturing down the shadiness. And we're better than that.
We're better than that.
So, but some of that happened this week, which I think is part of the wave of the future. Now that it's a future motion, or not future, sorry, it's a software-based thing. You can get more performance out of a software upgrade. People are going to come after people's tunes. Somebody came in I was riding back to get someone in the car. Someone's like, hey, Scott, can you help me with my tune? They go, you're a future motion guy, right? 100%. I was like, yeah. It's like, hey, help me with this. It's not riding right in there, and I can't. And so I just copied and pasted all of my settings, and I saved it in their flow settings and go, ride this. If you don't like it, just go back to what you had before. I gave him my tunes, and I freely gave it to him. And it was just, I'm not in jeopardy of winning any prize purse stuff.
Well,
I was bummed. I was like, what? What? Okay.
Anyways.
A lot to cover. A lot of things going on. The question of the day. Can Future Motion Onewheel beat Vesc Onewheels? Yeah, didn't that happen all over the place? Is it getting harder? Yes. Can our races directors help us in knowing what boards you're racing against? Yes. I almost think it comes down to this, is that you get a little sticker. Doesn't even need those just round, like, let's say it's a sticker like this size, and it's a green sticker, like they have a green sticker on football helmets, so who's got the radio control, and you put the green sticker on either Future Motion boards or Vesc boards, and then all weekend you know who's got the Vescs running around and who has Future Motion, and you got to have it at the start of the race. I think then you know as a racer, ooh, Vesc, I'm going to push hard. I'd love to beat a Vesc. I just think if we... I'm choking on my spit.
Yeah, you okay over there?
I got going too much.
You okay? You okay? Do you think, I mean, this is opening a whole nother can of worms, so we can talk about it another day. But then when it comes to prize purse, when it comes to those pro riders, because you can be a pro and ride whatever you want at races, not at Race for the Rails, but should that prize purse be split between two categories?
No, not yet. I think.
Because if I'm a pro rider on a Future Motion board and I'm heading to an event that is going to open up to everybody, I know there's a real good chance I'm not getting podium or top prize. So.
Yeah, but I don't think that here you and I are speaking from we really like Future Motion. There's a lot of people out there that don't like Future Motion, and they really like to stick it to Future Motion, so they're not going to promote Future Motion in that way, right? So, but this helps the story. If you want to see, hey, look at all the green dotted boards or Vescs. Look at how many Vescs are out here and how many are crushing Future Motion. Tells a story, and it's compelling when stories are being told all weekend of Vesc boards and all these different things. It's just, it helps sell Vesc components, the batteries, Indy speed control, right? They always have a tent of these things. They could be selling more. Oh, wait, they just won in that category on Vesc. Oh, I know that. I'm going to there to get their stuff. I just think it helps all of the things. Yeah. I'm not here telling people don't ride Vesc. I'm here for it. I like competition. I think it pushes sport. I love the movies that document Ford versus Ferrari and all those things that have been out there that documents the progression of the races all over the place. Love it. I love watching Red Bull races when they pin a dirt bike versus a rally car. Who's going to win in this track they set up? And it's like, I don't know. Who is going to win it? It's not apples to apples. It's fun to watch because sometimes it's the driver, sometimes it's the terrain. And here you go. You get to learn about the Vesc and Future Motion Onewheels. I think it helps. So maybe we'll see some green dots at Tulsa because that's the next race. Tulsa Dirt Surfers wrapping up the season. Oh, I took my lanyard down. It's not back there. You can get your third sticker. Yeah, but it doesn't have the sticker on it.
It's in the car.
Yeah, we haven't stickered it, but you can get your third sticker. So sorry that we left our lanyard here in the office.
What were we thinking?
What were we thinking? But you can finish this out with 3. Find out who wins overall dirt surfers and all those things at Turkey Mountain in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Going to be really fun to go down there to the female winner of WinMan this week. It's going to be cool. It's going to be great to go to her hometown, see her rip.
Yeah, see her
So,
ride.
And I was not there for the podium, so who ended up winning the men's podium? Do you remember?
For the Enduro?
Yeah.
Wasn't it Kai?
I'm asking you. I was not there.
I believe it was Kai. I can't say his last name.
Okay. Well,
So,
everyone, thanks for hanging with us. Please get signed up for Dirt Surfers, the last stop of the season. It's actually the second stop of the new season, but that's a whole nother piece of drama that ORL points are not being issued for these 2 events.
boo-hoo.
And I don't know why.
Yeah, never mind.
But great to go race, finish off the Dirt Surfers circuit series. I'm here for that. It'll be a fun time to get out there. A brand new trail system we've never rode or raced, so excited about that.
It'll be fun.
Everyone, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Thanks for being with us today to have a great conversation with all of you. We'll see you on the next one because this one is over.